Celebrity lawyer Michael Avenatti suggested in a fiery statement to Fox News late Monday that the Los Angeles lawyers suing him for allegedly stealing from a former client settlement fund, a matter that prompted California prosecutors to slap Avenatti with federal criminal fraud charges earlier in the day, have political motivations and are close to the Trump administration. Although Avenatti's dramatic New York arrest for an alleged $25 million extortion scheme targeting sports apparel giant Nike dominated headlines on Monday, the separate federal wire and bank fraud charges that Avenatti simultaneously faces in Los Angeles may pose his greatest legal threat. Avenatti is looking at up to 47 years in prison on the New York charges if convicted, and 50 years in the California case, which resulted from a much longer-running investigation involving a lengthier paper trail. Avenatti has strenuously denied wrongdoing, and in a tweet early Tuesday morning, thanked his supporters for their kind words, adding, "It means a lot to me." Fox News has exclusively obtained text messages and email conversations between Avenatti, 48, and the former client, Gregory Bella, which documented Bella's efforts for several months in 2018 to locate and obtain funds he was owed pursuant to a settlement agreement that resulted from his intellectual property dispute with an out-of-state company. Financial documents also reviewed by Fox News show that the money had been wired to an account designated by Avenatti on January 5, 2018, but that Avenatti apparently continued to dodge increasingly frantic questions from the client as to where the funds were. "We did nothing wrong and were entitled to every dollar received," Avenatti told Fox News. And of course, Bella is represented by a person close to Trump. Avenatti's comments came just a day after Attorney General William Barr announced that Special Counsel Robert Mueller had cleared Trump and his campaign of illegally colluding with Russians, a matter that, among others, Avenatti had said would bring down Trump's presidency. Just weeks ago, Avenatti announced that he was no longer representing adult film star Stormy Daniels, following a rocky relationship in which Daniels accused Avenatti of suing Trump on her behalf but without her permission and behaving dishonestly. A judge has ordered Daniels to pay Trump's legal fees in that matter. On Monday, Daniels said she was saddened but not shocked by the charges against Avenatti, and said ominously, "There will be more announcements to come." Stephen G. Larson, a former George W. Bush-appointed U.S. District Court judge who founded Larson O'Brien LLP and now represents Bella in his civil complaint against Avenatti, told Fox News he was grateful that prosecutors filed criminal charges. Bella's complaint is currently in arbitration, but may soon be moved to state court if Avenatti does not pay the required arbitration fees. "We and our clients applaud the U.S. Attorney and IRS criminal investigation for addressing this matter and we intend to carefully follow its progress through the criminal justice system," Larson told Fox News. Responding to Avenatti's attacks on his law firm, another partner at Larson O'Brien LLP, Stephen Bledsoe, said simply, "Falsification of legal documents and theft of client funds is not a political matter." Federal prosecutors in California charged that Bella's settlement called for $1.6 million in settlement money to be paid on January 10, 2018, but that instead, Avenatti gave Bella a bogus settlement agreement with a false payment date of March 10, 2018. According to prosecutors' affidavit, Avenatti misappropriated his client's settlement money, in violation not only of federal law but also state ethics requirements, and used it to pay expenses for his coffee business and other ventures. When the fake March 2018 deadline passed and the client asked where the money was, prosecutors said, Avenatti continued to conceal that the payment had already been received. In March 2018, according to the statement of claims filed in arbitration by Bella's attorneys, Bella visited the Egan Avenatti law firm in Newport Beach, California, to ask about the money, only to see two attorneys who work with Avenatti, John Arden and Ahmed Ibrahim, allegedly try to keep quiet about it. Mr. Bella saw Mr. Arden's reflection in the glass wall of the conference room and observed Mr. Arden gesturing towards Mr. Ibrahim to stop discussing Mr. Bella's settlement payment, the document asserts, after which, both Mr. Ibrahim and Mr. Arden actively deceived Mr. Bella by not disclosing that the settlement payment had been received. In an email dated April 5, 2018, and reviewed by Fox News, Bella wrote to Avenatti that he would like to discuss my options for collections on the settlement funds. 10 days later, Bella again sought Avenatti's advice on the status of the transfer, and next actions to take if the funds were not collected. On May 7, 2018, Bella wrote that if the company does not pay soon, he might need a little help financially from Avenatti. On May 15, Bella again asked if the company had responded or paid. Bella also noted in one conversation that he was planning to host a watch party at his home for an upcoming Avenatti appearance on 60 Minutes. After several advances of funds from Avenatti, on October 10, 2018, Bella wrote, "I was hoping to have an update on the settlement funds and get our money." He tells Avenatti, "I need 8K by Tuesday or I'm in deep sh," and on October 22, he emailed a dire assessment.